Today, I wanted to talk about Red Gogeta, and honestly, just like how I have it on the stream title, basically, I I do think Red Gogeta is probably gonna be a little problematic. I think it's one of the things that we will have to deal with when it first comes out. Like, people are gonna start going against the leader, going against the 8 or 9 drop. I don't remember, and they're gonna be like, "This is just silly. This is just dumb." This is exactly why. I wanted to talk about it today. And I just don't have time to make a video, so I'm just doing it live. This was a suggestion based on the poll that I ran, which I think it was 50%, something like 50% on my community tab, where literally like over 300-400 people, something like that at this point, said that they wanted me to talk through this first before anything else. So the first thing, hopefully everyone knows at this point what the good old leader does. So if you aren't sure, if you weren't aware, which I think I'm like a little cut off here, the backside is the Goku and Vegeta, right? You can combo things in rest mode as long as it's mono red Saiyans, basically, which leads to kind of whack interactions. I gotta say, like, whack as in it is kind of broken. Like like it's pretty dumb that some of the stuff is like a pot of greed that some people are saying, and it's basically a draw 2 after you use the Unison. And the auto once per turn is also interesting on the backside, where, or the front side to say, where you combo with something, and when you do, you look up the top 3 at any point when you combo on their turn or your turn, and you look at the top 3 cards. You get a red Saiyan, which frankly is a lot. Like, there's a lot of red Saiyans out there, or a red Unison with a specified cost of 2, which is basically the Unison that came out with the deck. So yeah, you look at the top 3, the bottom deck, the other ones, and then you get to awaken at 4 or less, which is pretty standard. Or if you have 2 or more energy and both Goku and Vegeta and your Z energy, which is pretty I would say pretty easy. I would say, like, in the first 2 turns, you get to untap 1, draw 1, and then add up a 6. I think these type of leaders, and just like how Bandai is designing everything right now, they are really just accelerating the game just so you can awaken, right? They don't want you to be on the front side anymore. They want you to basically go as efficiently as possible into your backs or your front side, as to say, or no, the back side. So that way the game can go a lot quicker, and you get to the things that you want to get to quickly. The 8 drop is basically 4 SCRs. True. Haven't run this now until now. Yeah, true. John said stretch. Here's a stretch. I'm doing it, but I'm not on screen. There you go. So the backside is the same permanent, but the other permanent is that your Gogeta GT cards can attack your battle cards in active mode, and when your Gogeta GT cards attack your battle cards, your opponent skips their defense step, which is just broken. There's 2 reasons why. Because the auto says when you do use Union Fusion, which doesn't matter what Union Fusion you use, it's just period if you used it, this gains Gogeta GT, which means that card can swing into battle cards in active mode, which is nice for like blockers against like Bulma or something, or like problematic barrier cards, which I don't think this deck really cares about barrier, to be honest. But also in correlation with the SR/SPR that we're going to take a look at in a second, because you get to skip their defensive step, the other one gets to skip your offensive step. So it's a little bit weird. It's actually dumb, and I'll explain it in a second. When it attacks, you get to draw 1, and you get to play a red Saiyan, and you cost 1 in your hand in rest mode, which is basically the GT, or the GT Goku and Vegeta cards. So basically, the reason why this deck is kind of problematic is these 2 cards, along with the leader, right? So I know everyone at this point has seen the $100,000 leader, right? The 100,000 power attack power leader, and this is basically an SCR because of the permanent, but also an SCR because it's comparing to Baby Hatch. Like, if you can't get to 110 or 100,000 plus 5k or 1,000 or whatever it may be, then you just lose that turn, because what happens is that the Z Awaken, your life is a 4 or less, all your energy is in rest mode, and then you skip your next charge phase, which means you don't draw, you don't unsuspend, right? You don't unsuspend, and you don't charge. So all of that is actually in the charge phase, which is pretty interesting as far as to balance out this deck. And while this card is in battle, you can't activate extra skills or use cards in combos. So basically, you're a flat out 10,000 or 100,000 the entire turn that you do Z Awaken. And then in the opponent's turn, you switch it to active mode, and then you remove it from game. So you switch to active mode because in the actual charge phase, you unsuspend. So since you don't unsuspend, you unsuspend or switches to active mode for your leader, so that way you can actually attack with it again. So there you go. You know, when you're playing next turn, it's not Chile. I almost guarantee you that a lot of people are just playing this. They're going to be playing this anyway. So there you go. And I'm not clicking that, Mario, because it's just going to ruin all of this. So my bad. And then the other broken card basically is the Triumph. It's just a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta SPR. It has Deflect, Triple Striker. It is a Triple Striker and Blocker. And you basically Unifusion for 4. You draw 1. You place as one of the cards that you pitch. So some of the Goku and Vegeta cards, the GT cards that I'm going to take a look at, are basically going to be the fusion fodder. So it replaces one of the cards. It is a 35k triple striker blocker, which also restands at the end of the turn. And this card is not affected by non-Gogeta GT skills. And when this card is in battle, they can't activate non-super combo skills, and you skip your offensive step. So this is what happens, right? So you have this card swinging in, and when it swings in, you can't combo and you can't use anything on offense. And what that means is that when you swing into one of their battle cards, the other effect, the leader effect, skips the opponent's defense step. So this is like a really good version of the old, what is it, Gogeta? I'm pretty sure it's Gogeta, that swings and restands every time that it swings, the auto. But this one is better because they don't have an option. So you're looking at this card swinging into your battle cards, which you don't have an option to defend yourself against, unless you, I guess you, yeah, it's not affected by non-GT skills or Gogeta GT skills. So it's basically just going to swing into all your battle cards, restand, and just keep doing that until everything dies. As long as it's 35k or more, or less, I should say. What leader am I planning to try out first in Zenkai? There's a lot of good leaders right now. So like every leader, I've tried every single one of them. Well, almost every single one of them on that, but yeah. At the start of your charge phase, place this into the owner's drop. So these are basically in correlation where you skip your charge phase here, and this gets to restand as a blocker. So that's your saving grace. Both of these cards are your saving grace when you tap out on turn 4. So you tap on turn 4 with this card, you have a baby hatch basically, or you get to resolve it again because it doesn't have unique. So you just get to do it over and over again, and you just swing triple striking into their leader 35k. So it's pretty stupid how these two cards work along with the leader. So yeah, one of the things that you guys are saying in the chat as far as max power. So the reason why people are saying that max power, not other than Fash saying it, is because the permanent says it's not affected when it's in battle. So it's probably the dumbest thing I've seen, because these are two different effects as I understand it. But because it's not, or it's in battle, basically, if it's on their turn, if you're not attacking the card and you're not activating an effect, then it's not affected basically. But if it's out of battle and they're activating an effect like Max Power Kamehameha or something else that actually removes it, then it is affected. So that's why people are putting in strats of Universe 7 in order to protect it and give it back barrier. So there is kind of the thing that people are talking about. What else? So we do have other cards. So we have the Unison that is played with this deck. So basically you look at the top 3, you get a red card from them, which is dumb because you can get literally anything out of your deck. I run 1 Overrealm, so it's 1 black card in this deck, and then place it at the bottom of the deck, which is nice because you're not going to see it if you do shuffle. otherwise, basically. And then +2, you get to play something with energy cost of 1 red battle card, and then -4 in activate battle, which is so much better than activate main. It's a 30k double striker, so it's just pretty good. It shouldn't work like that though. I mean, the way it's worded, yeah, pretty much. I do agree. So yeah, this activate main, you can do pretty much any red battle card. I mean, you can use the Gohan that looks at the top 5 for Universe 7. You can use Rushing Warrior Pan. There's a good amount of things you can use it for. But the ones that you do use it for are these guys, which because these are 4 costs, but they're reduced by 3, so they're 1 cost in your hand if you have a Goku Vegeta GT leader. So when you play it, you get to draw 1, and then you get to place it into your owner's drop. But you don't really care about that because you're going to be using it for Z energy on attack, which you attack with one of the cards. You get to, in rest mode, combo it from the battle area, get to draw 1 again, and then use it for Z energy. So basically you're drawing 2 and getting Z energy on attack, which means this is basically super aggressive in that way. It's just so stupid. Direct conflict with the Gamma Leader in Zero Unison. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like so many things. Eggman sent me a friend request. Whack. There's so many things that really contradict this and just the wording for a lot of things. So I totally agree. And now we have all of these other cards that are supporting this archetype, where the Vegeta basically needs another Goku in the combo area in order to use the activate battle. If you have 2 or more energy, you get to play this card, and when it's played, you minus something 15k less, which echoes something like Universe 7, which is very annoying. And then when it's comboed from the battle area, you get to pay 1, and your leader gains critical for the turn, which is nice. You can't use it with the Z leader, but you can put a chomp on it. There you go. Same thing with this guy. This guy is critical. This guy is double strike 20k. And it gives double strike. They're basically one and the same, just reversed. And then this guy is really interesting because it has 0 combo power, which means you're getting the Z energy. But if your leader is the leader that we're talking about, 4 or less, you get to combo this from your hand, and you basically being a card. There you go. Just any of one of your cards for the turn. So it's offensive and defensive. So that's pretty annoying. Gogeta overhype, Sin is the real deck. That's cap. You know, I have yet to lose to Sin. I've been playing this deck. I've been playing KP. I've been playing Sin. I've been playing Turtle School. I've been playing what else? I've been playing Trunks and Pan, and I've yet to lose to Sin. It's actually nuts. I don't know. Maybe I just play against like bad Sin players. So I don't know. But Sin's really good. I will say Sin's really good. It's gonna top just like this deck. I will 100% guarantee that both of those decks will top. Okay, finally, so some of the off archetype characters that are characters, but off too much of One Piece. Off archetype cards where you can look at the top 4 or top 5 and get a 4 or less, which basically looks up or finds pretty much anything that you really need. Or a Unison, which is only a 1 cost. This is kind of a flex spot that I have in the deck right now. So that's what I will say about that. Can't get a Unison marker, which is dumb, but you can get it from the Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan Goku and friends from here, and then play it from the Unison card, which is nice. Crown and Russian Warrior Pan are really good targets for the 1 cost boys and girl, I guess, for the leader effect to combo it from, and as well as the Unison effect to play it out for free. So really, really good. Strats, because I was talking about before, the blocker triple striker needs strats just to survive. Divine Presence is really easy to use, especially with the Rush Attack Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Not only because you can combo things in the rest mode, but also you get to draw, you get to replace itself, and then you can pay 2 and then just swing, give something 5k. If you want to use, let's say, Saiyan Scions and play the Vegeta, I think, and like the other Goku, if you want to do it that way you get another 5k, but I don't think that's really worth it. It's just really nice to have a 25k attacker or something that beans again on their turn and gets a nice little 20k body. It's power creep U7, yeah, pretty much. Sitting is missing something. I wouldn't say that. I think it's still pretty good. I think red is still pretty good. I think that's gonna be like a really good red control deck, kind of. Like it has a really good high end and just like really good just battle cards they can use. Yeah. And then another one cost that's really good. You can easily get Bond 3 in this deck. It's not an issue. And plus you get the draw off of it, which is nice. I put this in a little tiny spot because we don't really know the official ruling. So if Mass Power Kamehameha can be affected, that means anything outside of battle, which means this pays the cost for the triple striker blocker, which is basically a 35k that you can pay the cost for and then use Super Saiyan 4 Blurly Secret Rare. So I don't know if it will work that way, but otherwise right now I am running as a placeholder. I am running the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, the new boy, the Overrealm 6, which is has been pretty good. Like coupling that with the blocker, the Union Fusion blocker, has been pretty nice, I got to say. So here's my list. Here you go. So for me, I think this is pretty much like this whole thing is going to be kind of cookie cutter like this with the Unison along with the one of New Ruler, which is just another secret rare when you really think about it, Isaiah. I do run 2 of the Resolve Renewed because it is searchable by the leader and as well as pretty much everything else in the deck. 3 of the Yamcha because sometimes you just don't see the Unison, which is why I think this is a flex spot. You can probably swing it out into something that does find a Unison. This is a one of, which is nice because you don't really care about board wiping, but it is an option and it is another marker and it is just something as a 5k that you can combo with in a pinch if you really wanted to. Testing the op is really nice because eventually you will be at 6. I like active image as well, so I'm kind of in between this as well as Violent Rays. I think this is missing active image, so I think 2 would be really good. I've been always at that 52, 54 area for deck list nowadays, and it hasn't been really that bad because these decks just draw too much and they just search too much, especially when some of these decks just go long, like Ramp Vegeta or Bulma or something else, and you just need extra cards in your deck. The Champa, which is nice, is a red card, so you're searchable, so why not? Saiyan Youth, other than outside or instead of the one that came in the set, is just better. This is a red Saiyan that's searchable. We already talked about this and this. This is the Overrealm Secret Rare. And then 1 mana on the mission because it's just free and it's a double striker critical, so why not? I think this is a good starting list, if anything. I think this is not too bad. Not too bad. Why no Super Saiyan 4 in the extra deck? Yeah, you can fit those. You can fit that guy in too. I just didn't like it because if you can't use the aggressor card, I mean, it just doesn't really get the full effect. So it's like whatever. I've almost never used any other Z card other than Vegeta for red deck so far. So I could be wrong. I very well could be wrong. But let me just mute that. But that is it as far as the red Gogeta. I think it is kind of problematic only because of the first 3 cards that we went over. So the leader, the triple striker blocker, and as well as the effects that go with the leader, and of course the Z leader. I am glad that they basically restricted that out the gate. Having to deal with that every other turn, just so stupid. But so far, let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, I'm live right now. People can tell me in the chat as well. I think I broke the chat because I see messages, but they're not there. There. No, that doesn't work. But either way, until the next one.